Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about beauty treatments, anti-aging, microneedling, radio frequency, makeup tutorials, hairstyling, and wellness and fitness, and everything that pertains to a healthy, happy lifestyle. And if you are here, I want to thank you for joining me on my journey. Okay, so I'm here to put on my face creams and serums. And so what I'm going to start out with is I have a glycolic acid peel that has like a tinted tan to it. It's like a gradual tanning that I'm doing in the summer, so I'm able to exfoliate at the same time as getting this, and getting a gradual tan. Okay, so I will take it out of the wrapper. I hope you're having a good day. It's hot, so I'm getting my treatments done and stuff in the morning. And so here it is. It's a peel pad. I'm going to start with my forehead. The 11s, you don't want to forget those, or I'm getting wrinkles on my temples. And the crow's feet. Okay, and so I really want to get this on these wrinkles. I have wrinkles right here and here. It's almost time. In about a week, I'll be doing a microneedling session, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so now today I'm going to be using a Lancome and Regenerous Multi-Action face cream that I've had, and I've had it in all my stuff. I used to use it regularly, but have been using the CeraVe, but I need to start using up some of these, especially because it was expensive. Okay, so the next thing I'm using is the Ordinary Vitamin C, and I'm going to pat that in an upward fashion. So if you have clicked on my channel, I want to thank you. And I do all kinds of anti-aging beauty and skin treatments, and I do my hair, and I highlight my own hair. And so if you're interested in any of that, just hop on over to my channel. And I've also been doing yoga and physical therapy for those of us who have osteopenia, osteoporosis, and need to have strength built in our hips and our bones. Okay, so that is on. And so the last, or not the last, but the next thing will be the face cream. And I always remember my neck. Okay, never ever forget sunscreen. I'm using the Eucerin 50 SPF today. And I slather a good amount of that on. Really want to protect my skin, because research shows that, you know, that is better anti-aging than a lot of the treatments. It's just to protect your skin. Okay, so I will be back for us to put the makeup on. Okay, so I'm back to do the makeup. I had to go wash the serums off of my hands because when I go to do the makeup, it's all sticky and stuff, so it's a lot easier. Okay, so we'll start out with concealer. Today, I'm going to be using my Lancome just using up a lot of this makeup that I have. Now this, you only want to use a tiny amount because it really spreads. And then I put it up there in the corners. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute to absorb. Okay, so I'm going to put on, it's called Color Design Seal the Deal lipstick. So that my lips aren't dry, because my lips tend to be really dry. Okay, so now that we've got that sitting there, I can tap it in. Okay, so I tap in, and then up here, and then right there. Gotta have my little magnifying mirror. And then around the nose. Okay. And today I'm using a Jane Iredale, it's a bronze kind of tint. I actually should have put that on before the concealer, so we'll see how this goes. I kind of messed up because a lot of times I don't use BB creams or tinted moisturizing creams, but I wanted to do it today. So tap that in. Make sure you get your hairline and your forehead and under your jawline and by your ears. Yeah, I love that tinted moisturizer cream from Jane Iredale. And this color is bronze, which tend to use this in the summer. Okay, so we got that on. And now I'm gonna put my blush on. So I put it right there on the apple of my cheeks and then a little on the tip of my nose so it looks like I have a tan. Okay, so I have this spongy type that I can blend that in a little bit with. I kind of blend it in and then I use my fingers. Kind of go around, leaving a lot of the color in the middle there. And tapping it. And then now for the eyeshadow. And so I'm using a Lancome set that I have. I'll get a little closer so you can see. Okay, I'm using the dark color first for the outer and the crease. And you can see I've used a lot of that up because it's a really nice color. And then pull it over here to the middle. And then pull it over to the middle, to the crease. Okay, and I use these little sponge things at first, then I use my fingers, but I use it to absorb some of it so it blends good. And as in all my videos, I always put highlighter in the middle there. And then pat that in. Kind of go over, pat it in, and go over a little and up. I like to go up a little higher where it gets dark. Okay, and now I'm going to take my fingers and blend that in. A Q-tip for the side. Or any fallout. Okay, now I will need to, now I'm going to need to put a kind of a primer on my eyelids so that it'll hold the eyeshadow on. And then I just blend it in with my fingers. And today I'm using a Almay blonde eyebrow pencil. So we're going to brush the eyebrows. And then I'm going to draw them in. This is a very thin, I always buy a really thin pencil, that way I can just draw them in. And then I outline them. Try to make them look as real as possible, because you don't want to age yourself with big, dark eyebrows. And then I will just let them set for a minute before I brush them out. And now for I'm going to use the lightest color on here. It's a real pretty, and I've used a lot of it too, pretty shimmery type color. And I put it right there in the middle corner and pull over. Oops, I got something in my eyeball, because I'm half blind trying to do this. Okay, right in the inner corner and pull over. I gotta quit getting that in my eye. I'm going to put a little more because I think I got more in my eye than on my eyelid. Okay, and then I take my finger and I blend. And now I'm going to brush out those eyebrows before I put on my eyeliner and mascara. And so, yeah, when you brush them out, it helps them also to look more natural and not so dark. Okay, so the eyeliner is a retractable Milani charcoal color that I'm using today. Okay, and I'm going to tight line on the outer. And I really like tight lining because on the upper part, I don't put anything on the lower because it drags me down, but I really like tight lining because it kind of just lifts. And then I'm going to do it on the inner corner. You know, if it weren't for YouTube, I would be putting my makeup on horribly at my age. I would be continuing to put it on like I always did in high school and when I was younger, because I wouldn't have known how, you know, that you need to change your makeup when you get older to address the aging issues. And I've learned so much on, you know, watching other people, other content providers make showing tips on makeup. And so now I can get on here and I can show you all the things that I've learned. It's summertime here and I am already starting to sweat. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I'm going to curl one at a time. And I learned from somebody also on a platform about the tubing mascaras. And I'm so glad because my eyelashes are, they're not falling out and stuff because it does not damage my eyelashes and it looks way better. Makes my eyelashes stand out. So just, you know, a little trick I do is because I bought two different ones to test out. I wanted to test out the e.l.f. Extend lash extender and then the Milani highly rated. I wanted to test them out, and what happened is that the brown, I bought a brown in the e.l.f. and it really wasn't enough to bring out my eyelashes, so I used it as a primer. It's working really well, and then I put a top coat on of the Milani highly rated. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm putting on the first coat of the lash extender of the e.l.f. And I just put like a thin coat of that. I don't put very much. Now the other side, the other eye, I'm going to curl the eyelash. And now, and while this is drying, before putting the second coat on, I do the bottom lashes. Always make sure you have a Q-tip on hand because there's always fallout or something. You know, there's really an art, honestly, to putting on makeup and doing a video and trying to look and show you at the same time as trying to look in the mirror. And see, that's the first coat. So what we're going to do now is, and I'm just going to use the e.l.f. lash extend on the bottom of eyelashes. I'm not going to use the Milani. I don't need, because this is another thing is it's brown, and so it's not going to drag my eyes down as much. And I like it because it doesn't flake under your eyes like some mascara does. There's that eye. Now the other eye. So if you have any questions or anything you would like to see me do, just leave it in the comments. Or if you have any suggestions, I'm open. I'm open to any suggestions that you may have, and would love to hear from you. Okay, so the bottom lashes are done, and so now it's time for the last coat of the Milani Highly Rated. But you know, because I messed up with the Jane Iredale BB cream, I've got to put a little more concealer. Just a little more, because it kind of wiped it all off. And you know, I really, really struggle with those dark circles. I've struggled with them all my life. I've always had to use concealer. So I'll just let that sit for a minute. And while that sits and dries, I'll put that second coat. You don't want to wait too long in between after you've put the lash extend, because then it gets clumpy. Yeah, I just really love this Milani tubing. And then you want to let that dry before you go to do your hair or anything, because it'll go up on the top of your eyelids and go all over the place. It has to dry. It's different than other mascara. It doesn't dry very fast. Okay, so I've got the mascara on, all the makeup's on. I'm going to tap in the concealer, and then we'll be done, and then I'll be back to show you the ending result with my hair done. And so we're going to tap that in. Okay, so I will be back to show you the ending result with my hair all done. So, see you soon. I am back with my hair all done for the day, and most likely, because it is hot here, it's going to be pinned up by the end of this day. But I just wanted to get on here and show you the ending result, and I'm really hoping that you have a good day. And, you know, if you enjoy this, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Rumble, and you'll be notified of when I do my next video. And so I will see you in the next video, and you have a wonderful day.